What is the dumbest thing you have tricked someone into believing? About a year ago, I was taking off the remnants of a peel-off mask I put a little bit on my shoulders. My boyfriend walked in and asked me what I was doing, and for some reason I joked and said, "Oh, I'm shedding my skin since I just finished my period." He was really confused, but believed me immediately and started asking a ton of questions. I decided it would be funny to stick with the joke and answer all the questions. Here's how it went. "So why do you have to do that?" "Well, you know how girls shed the lining of their womanhood during their periods? It's kind of the same thing, but since skin doesn't contract, we have to peel it off." "Does it hurt?" "Only a little bit, but it's such a relief when it's off." "Do all girls have this?" "Yes, but we're all kind of ashamed of it because a lot of guys shame us for it, so don't ask girls around you about it." My poor gullible baby boy. Well, once, he mentioned it around one of my best girlfriends. I gave her a look from across the room, and she went with it. And then he mentioned it in front of his sister. I gave her a look, she went with it, and then told their mom to go along with it later if he ever asked. This spread around quickly. His aunt, my mother, my sisters, my female cousins, his female cousins, his grandmother, all of my female friends, all of his sister's female friends, everyone. While all of this happened, his male friends found out about it. One of them asked their moms, and she laughed at him and didn't say anything. So he believes it. The others still believe it without question. This had spread like a wildfire that I could not control. At this point, I had completely forgotten about the joke, but earlier today, I was sitting at the dinner table with him and his family just chatting, and I was scratching my shoulder because I got a really bad sunburn and it was starting to peel. He asked me if my sunburn was bothering me and if I wanted some aloe vera, so I said yes. He said to me in front of the entire table, "It must suck that your sunburn is peeling and you have to peel this time of the month again." It took everything in me to not burst out laughing, but it took absolutely nothing for his mother to snort water out of her nose and proceed to cry laugh at the dinner table. His sister buried her face in her hands and laughed so hard that her face turned bright red and she snorted over and over again. Much to my surprise, I did not laugh, but I felt myself convulse and my face got so hot. He was really confused, but his dad was even more confused. He asked him what he was talking about, and my poor boyfriend, who was so confused as to why his sister and mom were laughing, said, "Well, you know, when girls have that time, they have to peel. Right?" And his dad just looked at all three of us dumbfounded and said, "What the hell have you been telling this boy?" And we all lost it. I started laughing so hard that I thought I was going to throw up. I was crying, I was in pain, I probably burst a couple blood vessels from laughing so hard. I finally fessed up because I couldn't explain my maniacal laughter anymore. He looked at me like I just shot his dog. I told him I was so sorry and explained the origin of this running joke. He sat back down at the table absolutely dumbfounded. After dinner we went back to his room and he asked me, "Everyone has been lying to me about this and you started it." I felt so bad, and I was apologizing profusely. He was silent for about a minute before he started laughing harder than I have ever heard him laugh before. He had tears rolling down his cheeks, his face was bright red, and he kept grabbing his stomach and heaving from how hard he was laughing. He told me between heaves that he couldn't believe that I had gotten every single woman in his life to convince him that this complete BS was real, and that he wouldn't believe periods were real at this point if he hadn't witnessed me curled up in the bathroom sobbing from cramps.